Hello everyone and welcome back to the Part-Time Gamers YouTube channel. I am Welchy, one half of the Part-Time Gamers, and welcome back to Part-Time Gamers Weekly, our weekly show where we discuss all the hot topics in video game news and we discuss what we've been playing and a new feature which is our new movie club. So without further ado, this week we're going to be discussing Ubisoft being up for sale, who's going to buy them. Let's discuss who I think should buy them and who's more likely to buy them. So let's get straight into it with Topic of the Week.
Topic of the Week.
Okay, so let's get straight into it. Ubisoft are reportedly up for sale. I am reading this from, I apologise for pronunciation, Hiron Cryer from Games Radar, who says a report claims that private equity firms are eyeing up an acquisition of Ubisoft. As reported by Bloomberg, sorry I didn't get the original report, talks are being held about the potential of several private equity firms acquiring Ubisoft. Talks are apparently early on, but include private equity firms like Blackstone Incorporated, KKR, and several current and former Ubisoft developers told Kotaku that they believe the company will eventually be sold. This is, according to the developers Kotaku spoke to, due to the flagging stock price of Ubisoft over the last year or so. Additionally, Kotaku reports that Ubisoft has been auditing various parts of its business with several outside consultancy firms, and while it's standard practice for any business, Kotaku sources claim this is in preparation for an acquisition. When asked about a potential acquisition as recently as February 2022, Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot, I want to say his name is, apologies again for the pronunciations, Guillemot maybe, said that the company can remain independent but would consider acquisition offers. Guillemot indicated that no acquisition offer for Ubisoft had been made at the time, adding that we will not speculate on why people haven't made an offer. This all comes on the heels of major consolidation around the games industry over the past 2 years. The entire thing, this is going on about Bungie, Microsoft, buying Bethesda and Activision and stuff, blah blah blah. There's nothing really else there worth discussing. But if you want to read the full report here from Hiron Cryer, again, apologies for pronunciations, and go to gamesradar.com, or alternatively go to Bloomberg for the full report. So, Ubisoft are up for sale, and at the moment, there's no kind of hint that it's going to be Xbox or Microsoft, shall we say, or Sony, PlayStation, purchasing Ubisoft. Now, I don't know much about these other companies, so I'm going to Google Blackstone. I think Blackstone are literally just like a massive kind of private equity company. I don't think they have, they're just an investment business. They don't have any particular specialty in video games, to my knowledge. Let's see if I can go on the Wikipedia page, see if I can get a feel for who they kind of invest in. Doesn't seem to be much here. But there's a massive Wikipedia page, but I don't think I'm going to find one. I think they're just a general kind of private equity firm. So this is more about, it's not a consolidation of the market really, it's more just someone buying out Ubisoft to take over, rather than say a PlayStation bringing them in as a first party. But that's just currently, obviously now Microsoft and Sony will be aware that Ubisoft are potentially up for sale. Will one of them make the move, and who would be the best fit? I'm going to leave Nintendo out of this because I don't think Nintendo would want Ubisoft. I don't think you don't associate the Ubisoft games with Nintendo. It's just a fact that you don't associate Assassin's Creed or Watch Dogs or Far Cry with Nintendo. I think you can play a few of them on the Switch. I know you can play Assassin's Creed free. I think Black Flag as well. On the Switch, but not the recent ones like Origins, Odyssey, or Valhalla. It's an interesting one. It's maybe a bit of a not so interesting story if it is just someone like Blackstone who buys them. It will be interesting in terms of what happens going forward. Will there be new managements in place, new senior management in place? Will they push Ubisoft in a different direction? If Blackstone, let's just say Blackstone buy them, will they think, we don't like Ubisoft's current structure of these massive open world games like Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs and Far Cry, which are arguably getting a bit samey, getting a bit of open world fatigue, you could argue, particularly with those games. Other games like Elden Ring and Horizon Forbidden West are doing well with open world, so it can be done. But I think maybe Blackstone might come in and say, why are we not doing more of maybe a multiplayer approach? Why have we not got a Ubisoft game, a Fortnite kind of game? Why have we not got a Fall Guys or Rocket League, something like that? You know, obviously Ubisoft did have, what the hell was that game called? Hyperscape, I think, was their battle royale game, which was canned and it's gone now, which barely lasted a year or two. And there's obviously rumours that they're making another kind of one to replace it, but maybe Blackstone will say, let's go down that route, or let's go down more the free-to-play route. There's been a lot of talk about free-to-play from Ubisoft anyway, with the Division Heartlands, I think they called it, which you haven't heard much about since, but it was going to be a free-to-play version of the Division. So maybe they'll go down that route, and obviously go down more the subscription service route as well. But maybe Blackstone or KKR won't purchase Ubisoft, and maybe it will be one of the big players. Maybe it will be Sony, maybe it will be Microsoft. Who would be the better fit, and who would benefit more from having Ubisoft? Obviously, both of them would benefit greatly from having the IP. It's the IP that Ubisoft have, which is very, very... It is hot. It is hot IP, particularly Assassin's Creed, one of the most well-known and well-loved gaming franchises in the world as of now. And I would put Far Cry just below it as well. Watch Dogs isn't quite as popular, isn't quite as beloved, but there is people that love those. I loved the first two. I've not played Legion yet. I do want to, but I'm a big fan of the first two games, platinum both of them. I like Far Cry games. I liked Far Cry Primal a lot. I platinum that one, but I don't buy them every year. I haven't played Far Cry 4, 5, or 6. So, and Assassin's Creed, I've not really actually fully played one. I did try Black Flag, but wasn't in the mood for it at the time. So really, since the Assassin's Creed 2 kind of series of games, because they had 2 Brotherhood and Revelations or something, I've not really played Assassin's Creed either. So for me, Ubisoft aren't making the games I want to play right now, other than Watch Dogs. But even that, I didn't buy Legion, and that's coming up to 2 years old now. It's 18 months old, I think, now. So yeah, for me, it's not the most interesting one, because whoever gets them won't grab me in. But that being said, if Xbox were to get, for example, get Ubisoft, and then say all Ubisoft games day and date on Game Pass, I'll be like, holy shit, I am in. Because I always want to try these games, but I just don't want to pay 70 quid to buy a game that I'm going to play for an hour or two and not like it, potentially. Whereas if it was day and date on Game Pass, the next Assassin's Creed, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to try this out. It's day and date, why not? And I might love it, you never know. Same goes with all of their games, and obviously their backlog of games. There are heavy rumours at the moment that Assassin's Creed Origins is coming to Game Pass in the next month or two, which is the first kind of one where they kind of rebooted the series, not rebooted, but like restructured it. So I am looking forward to that coming if it does, and maybe that is a hint that Xbox are gonna get Ubisoft. There was obviously a few months back there they found out that they announced that Ubisoft Play was going to come to Xbox, not to Game Pass but to Xbox, because Ubisoft Play has been primarily and only a PC subscription. It will probably come to Sony as well, but they haven't actually officially announced that, but it is coming to Xbox. And obviously the same would apply to PlayStation. If PlayStation said, we now own Ubisoft and all Ubisoft games are going to be on our service, exact same thing. With that, I think, by the way it looks like Sony are going, they're not doing day and date releases for their big titles, such as God of War, Ragnarok and whatnot. So I don't think they would do that for Assassin's Creed if they were to buy it. So I think from a fan's perspective or a player's perspective, we would benefit more from Xbox buying them, just because we would get Assassin's Creed, I don't know, Assassin's Creed, what name a country they haven't done yet? Japan? I don't think they've done Japan. Assassin's Creed Tokyo, say. Which would basically be like Ghost of Tsushima, right? But anyway, if that would be day and date, and that would benefit the player more. So I think, as a player, I would say let Xbox buy Ubisoft because I will benefit more from it. But as a company I don't think Xbox will, unless the Activision deal falls through. But I think the problem is with that is that I think by the time that deal we know whether it's falling through or not, Ubisoft may already be bought out. So it's whether they want to risk it or not. I think if they were to, obviously they bought Bethesda, if they were then to be successful at buying Activision, which there's a lot of things coming out saying that they might not be, but they probably will be, Activision and then Ubisoft, I'm up for Xbox trying to make a comeback and compete, but we're going to start running out of companies here. Whether or not they might do something like Activision where they say, yes, we bought Ubisoft, but we're not going to stop them releasing games on PlayStation. For example, they've said that Activision games will be day and date on Game Pass, but they can still release on, and still will release on PlayStation. So the appeal is come to Xbox because you can get this for a subscription fee rather than £70 for every game. Maybe they'll do that. Maybe that would be a way around it and it'd be less anti-competition, anti-consumer as well. Can't remember the words, but I think if Sony was to buy them, they would have to do something similar because Sony are currently the leader in the gaming market. So it's going to be a tough one. I think if I had to guess, like these reports say, neither of them will get Ubisoft. And it will just be a standard kind of investment company buying them. But it is going to be very interesting to follow and see where this goes and what it means for Ubisoft going forward. Will they want Assassin's Creed back to being a yearly product? Probably not. You never know. Maybe Blackstone are like, look, you need to get out. Or maybe they're like, look, let's do a 3-year cycle. We want Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and say Watch Dogs. I'm probably forgetting another big series that they have. Ubisoft games, just in case. Obviously, I think Ubisoft own Rayman, which has gone quiet for a few years. Ubisoft. Splinter Cell. How did I forget Splinter Cell? So, I imagine whoever comes in, if they're not already making one, but whoever comes in to buy Ubisoft, one of the first things they will do, and I'm not just saying this as a fan of Splinter Cell, but I'm just saying this in terms of it makes bloody sense. Whoever comes in and be like, right, we're making Splinter Cell. Why the hell have we got this IP here, sitting here doing nothing? All right, you might not have figured out a way to make it modern, but let's sit down and do this, you know? So yeah, I'm pretty goddamn sure whoever comes in is going to want Splinter Cell to make a reappearance. I'm just looking at Ubisoft games here. Okay, that's not that useful. Is there like a list of IPs that they have? This is studios. There's a lot of Ubisoft studios. Surely you can just find like a list of Ubisoft. So here we go. This video game franchise includes Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, For Honor. For Honor's been doing pretty well since it released. Just Dance will just come out every year. Prince of Persia, Rabbids, Rayman, Tom Clancy's, so all of the Tom Clancy's, not just Splinter Cell obviously, and Watch Dogs. So yeah, they've got a lot there, and a lot of those will be very appealing. A lot of those are very popular. Obviously, Rainbow Six Siege is a massive success, so I think whoever comes in will improve at Ubisoft, because I think Ubisoft are on a decline, in my opinion, and I think the general opinion would say that Ubisoft are in decline. And I think whoever comes in will benefit the studio. Or the company, I really do. Whether that's Sony. Do they need these open world adventure games in their library? Probably not. Because they have Horizon, they have God of War, they have The Last of Us 2. You know, they don't need those massive open world experiences. Not that Last of Us or God of War are open world, but I would probably argue that Xbox do need it. Obviously, they've got the RPG stuff with Skyrim now, and that's. I really don't know. My personal thoughts are that neither of them will get Ubisoft, and it will be a private equity company that purchases them. But fingers crossed, it works out for the best for everyone who works for Ubisoft, of course, and also it works out best for us as gamers. We get a Splinter Cell game. That would be my big wish. I think that's the main video game news topic I wanted to talk about today. Let me know what you think, guys, about this Ubisoft being up for sale. Are you surprised? I'm not too surprised because, like I said, I think they're on a decline. And who do you think will get them? Do you think it will be one of the big players? Or do you think it will be just some random private equity, not random, but a big private equity company looking to benefit from purchasing Ubisoft? Of course, they wouldn't be buying them to not benefit. So yeah, that's going to be it. And let's move on to what we've been playing. I still haven't got a jingle for this. I have got a new jingle to show you later, so keep an eye out for that. But what I've been playing, I've been continuing to play God of War on stream. Thank you to everyone who's been watching me stream that. I'm still having a blast. Where am I on that? I played it last night. We are in Alfheim, the land of the Dark Elves, or the Light Elves, but the Dark Elves taken over. And yeah, I'm having such a good time. Last night I decided that normally when I play God of War, I played it twice now. I mentioned all this last week, but I just go for a standard build in terms of my armor and my weapons and stuff, where I just go for strength, defense, and vitality. Just the stuff that makes it harder for me to be killed, and it makes it easier for me to kill. This time I decided that I'm gonna not do it the standard way that I always do, and I'm gonna go for a runic build where my special moves are like extra powerful and cooldown, in which the cooldown will make sure that I can use my runics more often. So I'm going to go for that, see if that makes the game feel any different. Probably not, it's probably going to be very similar, but hopefully I'll feel more powerful and be able to use those moves more often. And yeah, I'm just having a blast. It's an incredible game. The story is incredible. I said this last week, but the visuals, everything, it just reminds me all the time why it's my best game ever. Like, it really is. What else have I been playing? I've been playing a bit more Tunic. I think I mentioned Tunic last week. I'm having a really good time with Tunic. Really good time. A surprisingly good time. I played it both on my phone, on the xCloud, and on the actual Xbox console. It's a really fun game. I think once you get to learn what you need to do and how the game is meant to be played, it is very fun. It's kind of like what they call a classic Zelda game. They don't really give you much. They give you a few hints here and there, but they don't give you much at all. You have to kind of figure most things out for yourself, or Google it if you really wanted to. I had to Google something the other day because I was at a point in the game where I was like, well, I don't know where the fuck to go. Like, everywhere I go, there's something stopping me doing it, and then I Googled it and figured it out, which I don't mind doing because it's not like a spoilery game. This will just help me progress a little bit. And since then I've not Googled and I've been able to get a bit further. So yeah, I'm having a really good time with it. The level design is absolutely fantastic and it's so clever. It's one of those games where they've basically given you the whole map, not the whole map, but the whole world to play on straight away. But it's figuring out how to get into certain things, and then you'll be over here, you'll get into a building over here, and as you get out of the back of that building or whatever, you end up, basically you could have got through the back of that building straight away, if that makes sense. So like the exit of that building is somewhere else, and you end up back where you started, and it's like, holy shit. Like, I could have just gone in the back way, but obviously you just don't. It's the way the game is like designed, you can't really see it, it's kind of hidden. Very clever game. I recommend at least trying it if you haven't. And the other game that I've been playing is Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm having a really good time with this so far. It's not the best game I've ever played by any means. God of War is. But it's a really fun game. At first, I wasn't sure if I'd like the characters and the character designs and the voices because they aren't the actual original cast of Guardians of the Galaxy films. But they're great. They have very similar personalities, as you'd expect. But they're great. I really like Rocket. He's really good in this. Peter Quill's okay. Gamora and Drax are good as well. And Groot is Groot. But I'm having a really good time. The gameplay is better than I expected. I remember thinking it didn't look the best on trailers and stuff. And it's not the best, but it is good. It is definitely good. But I'm more interested in the story of this, and the story has been interesting so far. I think I'm 4 chapters in. I'm not sure how many there are. I imagine there'll be a good amount of chapters, maybe 15 plus. Because I don't feel I've put that much time into it, but no, I'm having a really good time, and looking forward to continuing that and beating that. And maybe I'll give it like a mini review on here about it once I beat that. I think that's what I've been playing. I've been playing FIFA still. I'm just basically fully back into FIFA, playing online on that. I think last year I reviewed Shadow Warrior last time, and I think that's all I've been playing. Mainly those 4 games: FIFA, Marvel's Galaxy, Tunic, and God of War, obviously. I did play a little bit of Halo online. I'm trying to get back into Halo Infinite and had a good time, actually. I'm enjoying that again. So, and next week, I believe it's next week, Halo Season 2 will start. So that's why I kind of started to get back into it this week, so I could get really into it next week. I'm looking forward to Season 2, seeing what that's about. There's like a new kind of mini Battle Royale game mode coming out to that called Lone Wolves, I think, or something like that. I'm looking forward to trying out. I imagine it's similar to what Red Dead Redemption 2 did with their multiplayer, where they had like a mini one. So looking forward to trying that. And there's something else. Oh, and then also coming out next week as Trek to Yomi. Trek to Yomi comes out next week to Game Pass, which I'm looking forward to. Nintendo Switch Sports comes out this week. It comes out Friday, but my Amazon says it's not coming till Saturday, which I'm a bit annoyed about, but hopefully that changes. And then next week also, I believe it's next week, maybe the week after, Sifu's getting its first kind of big update. As you will know, if you go back a few episodes ago, I love Sifu. I gave it a platinum rating. Absolutely love that game. That is getting its first big update, and it's going to introduce difficulty options. So I'm actually really interested in going back and trying the hardest difficulty. So as far as I know, there's going to be 3 difficulty options. Imagine the middle one will be what I've played, what I've just done, what I've beaten, which is like the standard mode. There's an easier option and a harder option. That's what I'm guessing. I hope they haven't changed what the game as it is, because it's, in my opinion, nearly perfect. It's so good. So hopefully that difficulty is just like the base, and then they've got an easier option and a harder option. The harder option sounds like it's going to be insane. Just any kind of extra difficulty in that game is going to be mad. But I'm going to try it, I think. I might even try the easy one just to see how easy it is. So I'm really looking forward to that free update, and to get a new outfit if you've got the deluxe version like I have, which is a bit pathetic, but it is what it is. And then they release what they're going to do for the rest of the year. So I guess every 3 to 4 months we're going to get an update. So I'm really happy for Sifu, that the success they've had, and I'm looking forward to playing all their updates. So that is it for what I've been playing. Let me know what you've been playing in the comments. And now we're going to quickly jump into a new jingle. Let me know what you think as we go into the Part-Time Gamers Movie Club.
The Part-Time Gamers Movie Club. Ooh.
It's my first time playing that jingle, so I need to kind of get an idea of how long to wait. I apologise if I can't start speaking at the end of it. Let me know what you think of that jingle. I had fun making it, let's just say that. Yeah, I don't want to spend too long on this, but basically we had previously a Part-Time Gamers Game Club. Wasn't really working mainly because time. Games take time. Games are long. I don't know how I actually managed to beat Prey in a month. I must have just absolutely jammed that in. That's what I ain't gonna say that. I've lost my train of thought, but yeah, it was just taking too much. It was taking a lot of time, and I think it was forcing me to play games. Whereas, basically, the effort wasn't. Siri is trying to talk to me again. I don't know how to put it, but basically, it happened really with Shadow Warrior 3. I knew I had to play it for Part-Time Gamers Game Club of the Month, but I didn't really feel the want to, and it was at the time when I had Horizon Forbidden West, Sifu and stuff. And yeah, I just would rather play those games, and I didn't want to force myself to play Shadow Warrior 3, so I missed out on those games. So that's kind of where I'm at with the Part-Time Gamers Game Club, is that it's on hold. Maybe I'll bring it back another time, but for now, I would rather play what I want to play, review games. I will still review games on here, but review games that I want to play, and not just pick a game like Shadow Warrior 3 for the fun of it. and I won't make it such a strict, like, oh, we have to be this by this end of the month because then we've got to pick another game kind of thing. That's basically where I'm at with that. Part-Time Gamers Movie Club should be better, and I guess it's not really a club. Well, I'm not going to say let's all go and watch this film, but well, I guess I kind of am, but I'm also going to just talk about any film that I've watched or TV shows at all. So, yeah, I've watched a lot. I think the last time I mentioned maybe doing this was 3 weeks ago with my Horizon Forbidden West review at the beginning of April. I forgot to mention it last week, so I've watched a lot of films since then. So I'm just going to open up my app where I track all this kind of stuff. So what I'm doing at the moment is I have never watched through the Marvel films, the MCU films, and that's what I'm doing at the moment. Is I'm trying to get through those and watch them all and catch up and kind of be part of the conversation. I feel like everyone's always talking about Marvel and looking forward to the next big thing, next film, next trailer, and I'm just like, Iron Man? Like, I obviously watched the Iron Man films back when I was younger, but so I'm trying to get involved, and let me tell you, I am having a great time watching these films. I wasn't expecting it. I was always thinking like, they can't be as good as everyone says, but some of them are. So, sorry, let me get the thing up. So basically, I have watched, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 films this month alone in April, which, by the way, is massive for me. Might not be a lot for you if you watch like one a night, but before this, I had watched like one film this year. That is what we're kind of talking about. So I've made a conscious effort to watch more this month. So at the beginning of the month, I watched Rain Man, 1988 film, very old, with, I say very old, anyone who's old enough to remember that film in cinemas, I apologise, but Tom Cruise and, oh God, what's his name? Like, incredible actor. He won awards for it. Dustin Hoffman, incredible actor. If you haven't watched this film, I would just say watch it. I'm not even going to tell you what it's about. Watch it, great film. Then I watched Seven. Then I watched, I think I mentioned this before, like a chick flick film, She's the Man, with my girlfriend. And then from there, this is where I really cracked on with the Marvel stuff. So I did start my Marvel watch through probably around this time last year. I'm conscious of the video, I need to wrap it up soon, but and then it kind of stagnated. I was going very slowly. So on April the 4th, I watched Captain America: The Winter Soldier. And by the way, I'm doing this is pretty much in timeline order. Some of them I'm chucking away and watching at the end because apparently they're not too relevant before the main bit. Anyway, so yeah, watch Captain America: Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, Captain America: Civil War, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Doctor Strange, and most recently Black Panther. So a lot of Marvel films there, and out of them ones that I've just mentioned, Captain America: Civil War is the best. What a film. Absolutely incredible film. I absolutely loved it. I'm not one of those people that are going to critique films as like a proper reviewer. I either enjoyed it or I didn't, and I'll give you my reasons for it. But I'm not here to say, oh, the camera angle there, I don't know. You know what I mean. But yeah, Captain America: Civil War was just a proper, what I would call a popcorn movie, but like so good. And watching that has made me realise why people enjoy Marvel as much as they do. Because I've always liked the Avengers films, I've rated them quite highly, and I really enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy films. But Civil War was just like a level above, and I just watching that has made me realise, oh, I think I know why people are gonna, well, because obviously I've got Infinity War and Endgame coming, and I've not watched them. I know some things that happen in them, but I've not ever watched them. And I'm starting to understand why people love those films so much, because I can feel the build up to it. And I'm super excited to watch it. I'm only one film away. I've got Thor Ragnarok to watch next, and then I think it's Infinity War, so I am close. But yeah, I also enjoyed Black Panther a lot. Black Panther was great. Doctor Strange was okay. It was decent. Spider-Man Homecoming again was okay. If I had to rate them on the Spider-Man films, it wouldn't be near the top for me. If you just based it on the first films of the three different Spider-Men, so Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland, for me it's the worst of the three. I don't know if I'm being harsh. I don't know if I'm on my own there. of the three first films, my favourite is Tobey Maguire's. I think that's a bit of nostalgia, maybe, but I feel like the Green Goblin was great in that, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in No Way Home and stuff. But yeah, for me, the Tobey Maguire one's better, and then Andrew Garfield, and then Tom Holland. At the moment, that's just based on their first films. I've obviously watched all the Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield films. Sorry, not Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire. So I'm looking forward to watching Tom Holland's next ones. And from what I've heard, No Way Home is going to go shooting to the top of my list of Spider-Man films anyway. So yeah, so far, loving the Marvel films. That's what I've been watching. What I'm going to be watching, hopefully before the next video, is Thor Ragnarok. So if you do want to do some kind of movie club with me and watch along, or maybe you don't, but you've already watched it, because most people have watched the Marvel films, so you can just let me know what you think about the film. Try not to spoil anything in case I see your comment before I watch it, but yeah, I'm going to be trying to watch Thor Ragnarok this weekend coming. Really excited because I've heard really good things. While I'm here, just before we go, I am also doing a list of my Marvel films in order of like enjoyment, best to worst. I don't think I'm going to go. I've watched 17 films. I'm not going to go through all 17 of those Marvel films. I will give you my top 10. Maybe I'll keep updating it and letting you know where each game is. So at the moment, number 1 is Captain America Civil War. 2 is Guardians of the Galaxy 2. 3 is Guardians of the Galaxy 1. I'm saying that really weird. I'm struggling to say Galaxy, I think. Anyway, 4 is the first Avengers film. And 5th is the Age of Empires. Avengers Age of Ultron. 6th is Black Panther. I know a lot of people are going to be like, whoa, why is Black Panther not above probably Age of Ultron, maybe even Avengers? For me, there's something about the Avengers films that I just love. I don't know if it's because there's so many different characters together and more the feeling of urgency, like shit, like the world is going to end if we don't do something kind of thing. Don't get me wrong, Black Panther was amazing, really enjoyed it, but I just prefer the Avengers films. Next one is a massive surprise to me. Number 7 is Ant-Man. I say it's a massive surprise to me because whenever I used to hear people talking about Marvel and then the films coming out and I heard about Ant-Man, I thought, what the fuck? Like, come on. Ant-Man cannot be good. It just can't be good. It sounds ridiculous. And I am so wrong because I thoroughly enjoyed Ant-Man. The reason it's not higher is because I didn't really like the villain and like it wasn't the best film, but it was very, very good. And he is now one of my favourite heroes in the saga so far. So I think that was 7th. 8th is Iron Man, the original one, classic. 9th is Captain America's Winter Soldier. And 10th is Spider-Man Homecoming. So I do rate it quite highly, but there are 7 films. I'm just going to go through my next 7, just so you know. But from now on, I'll tell you where it fits in each week by week. So 11th is Captain America, the first one, the first Avenger. 12th, Doctor Strange. 13th, Iron Man 2. 14th is For the Dark World. I know a lot of people think that's the worst one. I don't think so, personally. 15th, Captain Marvel. 16th, For the first one. And then 17th, Iron Man 3, which I don't want to talk about that film because I didn't like it. So yeah, as I said, this week, I'll be watching Thor Ragnarok. So if you want to join in the Marvel and my movie club, then give it a watch as well, or just kind of let me know what you thought about the film. You've already watched it and kind of have to watch it again. And then following on from that, it'll be like Infinity War and stuff. So I might start adding other films in as well. So not just Marvel films into this movie club, maybe a Marvel film and another film maybe. We'll see. This week I'm going to keep it as Thor Ragnarok. And maybe I'll also add like TV shows in, I don't know. This is all kind of, as this whole channel is, our Twitch channel is, everything is, it's all kind of like just working out what we want to do, what's best for what we want to do, what's best for entertaining you guys and getting you guys involved. But it's also like what we've got time for and stuff like that. But yeah, let me know what you think about this movie club idea. Would you rather it just be me talking about what movies I've watched recently and what I liked about them, what I didn't like about them, or do you want it to be more of a thing like I'm trying to do where we kind of pick a film and watch it together, or I pick a film? Yeah, I think this is a good idea. It's basically the game club idea, but for movies, which is easier because movies can be watched much quicker than you can complete a game. So Let me know what you think. If you're not going to get involved, then don't worry. But I like talking about things. I like talking about games. Obviously, that's why I do this whole show, because I love talking about video games. I love talking, really. Which is weird because I don't like talking in public. I like talking about things that I'm passionate about, and I'm passionate about games. And I'm trying to become passionate in Marvel and films and stuff. So I'm going to talk about that as well. So yeah, anyway, I got into this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about the Ubisoft sale. Let me know what you've been playing, and let me know what you think about my movie club idea and For Ragnarok if you've already watched it. If you're watching it this weekend like I will be, then maybe give me a tweet on the Part-Time Gamers Twitter channel, Twitter page, which you'll see down below, or message on Instagram, whatever. You'll see all our links below. So yeah, that's going to be it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.